know me, because I will repost this later. Probably put it on my YouTube channel so everybody can watch it later. I am Heather Lambert, your star director. I've been with Scentsy. I'm coming up on my 12th Scentiversary. I can't believe it's been 12 years. It's crazy. Um, and so today I wanted to talk about um, transitioning from one year to the next, right? Because this week between Christmas and New Year's, it's always sort of a strange week. Like you're never quite sure what to do with yourself, and you've got so much to do, but yet nothing to do at the same time. It's kind of weird. Some people go back to work, but it still feels like you're on vacation. Kids are still on vacation. I know we homeschool and we're still on vacation. Like it's just not. Nobody wants to like do the things, right? So I'm gonna try something else here with the camera. Maybe I can move it. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Is that a little better? A little better. All right. So I wanted to get together and just kind of talk about transitioning from one year to the next. And so I posted a few, I think it was last week, maybe a few days ago, this little workbook by Denise Duffield Thomas. I love her. She has written many books that I love. I've done her money boot camp. I've done her courses. I've done all the things, Denise. Um, and this was just a little free workbook that she put out that's ending the year and your money mindset. Now, I don't want to just talk about money today, but the way you do money is the way you do everything. And it kind of applies to sort of everything. So, we're going to take a peek at this, and I'm just going to use it as a little bit of a guide to get started. Um, and so, she has the time to take some time to kind of finish the year, right? We need closure on 2022. I know I need closure on 2022, and I need to get excited about something in 2023. And that's what it's all about, being excited, looking forward to something. I've always said we always have to have something to look forward to. That's what makes life worth living, is having things to look forward to. And if you can't, like if I asked you that, what are you looking forward to? Do you have a response? Do you have something top of mind that you know you're looking forward to? Some people don't. And sometimes when we find ourselves in that hole, you know what I'm talking about? The hole that's hard to dig out of, that feels really crappy. Like life is just handing us all the wrong things. Um, Sometimes when we're in that hole, we forget to have things to look forward to. And looking forward to things can help pull us out of that hole and keep us going when things are hard, when things are tough. And so that's really important. So we're gonna celebrate what the year was, because our human brains always remember the crappy, yucky, hard stuff, and they don't remember the good stuff. And we have to remember the good stuff on purpose. We have to be intentional about that, because if we don't, then we're just gonna feel miserable all the time, and we don't want to feel miserable. So I wonder if I can't see chats in my video. Oh, there we go. That's better. So we're going to remember what was good about 2022. That's really, really important to provide closure and end on a positive note. Um, get our brains thinking of all those good things. And then we're going to move into 2023 and have some stuff to look forward to. Have some things to take action on. Some things we can get excited about and feel passionate and excitement for the new year. Now, 100 million people and gurus and books and websites and webinars and all the things will be talking about setting new goals for the new year. Yes, goals are important. It gives you something to look forward to. But not every personality type responds well to setting goals. I know when I start setting goals, I run the other way. It just doesn't work for me. In the traditional sense, I will say that. It's not that I don't have goals. It's just that they are not goals, and I don't set them in a traditional way because it doesn't work for my personality. So we're not going to set goals today. We're just going to find things we can get excited about and take action on. Okay? So I know it sounds kind of the same thing, and it is, but your brain is dumb and you have to trick it into doing things sometimes. So so let's start off, shall we? Joelle is here. Hi, Joelle. Um, so we're going to start off celebrating all of the things that were good in 2022. All the things you did, all the things that you were excited about, that you completed. Um, and you're going to celebrate without guilt. That's the important thing. You did it. You are allowed to be proud of yourself. You don't have to feel guilty about celebrating. Um, Sometimes that's hard for us to say, hey, I did a thing. We feel like we're bragging. You're not bragging, it's called celebration. And I have learned over the years, especially this past year, that when you do something and you do something well, you have to share because that gives other people inspiration and hope. Um, there is, those of you that don't know, I've been going through cancer treatments, and there is a bell that you ring when you finish your chemo treatments or when you finish your radiation treatments. And when you're all done your regimen, you ring a bell, and there's this little poem that goes with it, and everybody cries and takes videos and rings the bell. I finished my treatment. And there's a lot of conversation in the groups about whether or not people are going to ring the bell or not. And there are a lot of people that feel very strongly they're not going to ring a bell because chemo's not the end of treatment, or because it's not that important to them, or they don't feel like it's a celebration because of whatever reason. But I can tell you, as someone watching people ringing bells, that gives you hope. It inspires you. And so it's not bragging. It's not um, it, share the good things in your life. It helps your brain focus on the good things in your life too. It helps your brain remember. So you've got to share it and celebrate every little tiny step of the way. Big, small, seemingly insignificant things could be really important for you to remember and to celebrate. So, so we're gonna make a list. Now, I didn't want to forget. I highlighted some of my notes here. Um, she says, I recommend this end of year to ritual to finish well. It's what I do every year, and I recommend this even if things didn't go to plan, especially if you faced challenges and hard times. Especially, like I said, your brain will remember the hard stuff. It'll remember the crap, the things that didn't go right. And so you have to go back and purposely and intentionally remember the good. Hello, Miss AJ. Good to see you, my friend. Um, so you're going to make a list. The first thing we're going to do is get a piece of paper and a pen. I hope you have paper and pen. And we're going to make a list of everything that you are proud of over the last 12 months. Now, I know you're not going to be able to do this completely tonight. We're not going to take hours and hours for you to brainstorm. I can tell you one thing that I did that was very helpful, because how are you going to remember what you did back in January and February last year, a whole year ago? I promise you won't remember your tiny little wins from way back then. But this is where social media is really cool. Social media has its good points too. So I went back into my feed from Facebook all the way back to January 2021, and I just scrolled through all of my posts from the last year. And there were a lot of good things that I couldn't remember. I couldn't even remember that that was things that happened that were this year. Like I wasn't remembering them that they were in 2022. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was only this long ago, or oh my gosh, that was in February and I didn't even remember. The big horrible things that happen in life tend to take over. So you have to go back and purposely and intentionally remember. People, this is another great reason for journaling. A little bit warm. Take my sweatshirt off. Journaling on a regular basis is another great way. So at the end of the year, you can go back in your journal and discover all the good things, right? All the things that you did, or even the things that you just didn't remember, and just go back through and find those things that you're proud of. A couple of other prompts. She says things that you dealt with. You dealt with it. It might have been tricky and horrible and challenging, but you dealt with it and you got through it on the other side. That's a win. That's something to celebrate. I got through chemotherapy, 6 months of it. Um, yeah, it sucked and I didn't want to have to do it and it felt crappy, but I finished it. And so celebrate the win. You put boundaries in place around things. So if you said, you know what, I have to take care of myself, or I need to rest and I need to not feel guilty, or I need to not do this such and such because it's not good for me and it's not getting me where I want to be. What goals did you achieve? Did you have business goals, income goals? Did you have personal goals, health goals? Were you on a health journey and you met some of those goals along the way? Do you have strong relationships with family or kids that you want to celebrate? Right? Maybe you went on some fun dates last year, some fun gatherings with friends and family that were just really fun. Celebrate that time that you got to spend with people. Yes, Cassandra, celebrate the wins. Thank you for joining us. So all the things, big and small, go back through, brainstorm, make your list as long as possible. One of the things that Denise recommends too is to do this with a partner, somebody who can hold you accountable and push you a little bit, somebody you feel comfortable with, obviously. Um, but so you brainstorm your list, and when you stop and you get stuck and you think you're finished, that person can ask you, okay, so what else? But what else? But what else? And that is really powerful. So if you can push each other a little bit. I would love to see some of the things that you're thinking of right off the top of your head in the comments. If you guys want to share some of your celebrations in the comments, that would be really great. Again, we're not going to have time for you to brainstorm all of them. So find a buddy later and let them ask you what else you're going to put on your list. I did my list earlier today, and you can see, so I started skipping lines, and then I got to the bottom, and then I started asking myself, okay, what else? And then I went back through my Facebook feed, and I'm like, okay, what else? What can I celebrate? What can I celebrate? And I went back through and started filling in the lines again. So I have a pretty good list now. Some of the things on my list, um, obviously completing chemo. That was a huge celebration. Um, so I put things like, so we enjoyed the Disney parks. That was a celebration for me because that's something I love to do. But one of the things I wrote was that we rode Ratatouille. So Ratatouille is a new ride at Epcot. Christopher and I had gone 3 separate times, and the ride broke down right as we were about to get on. So we'd wait for an hour in line, and then it would break, and we didn't get to ride. So 3 times that happened. And finally, I saw a post on Facebook, and we were like so excited we finally got to ride it after 3 tries. And so that was a celebration. That was fun memory that we can remember. It also teaches us, right, don't give up, how to deal with disappointment, how to be patient, all that good stuff. So those are good celebrations to remember. Yes. So what else? What else? Celebrate the wins. Let's see. Another thing that I celebrated was that I moved my business mostly online. And I have a lot of online and email in my Scentsy business now. So that's one of my business celebrations. And it's a celebration because as I'm going through all of my treatments, I'm able to keep my business rolling. I'm able to maintain my paycheck, which we need to have. It keeps me having something to do, like a purpose, right? And it keeps me connected to everything. So that was really a big win for me too. So speaking of Denise Duffield Thomas, I was invited actually last year or this year to do a roundtable with her. So she has another course on called Sacred Money Archetypes, and I was invited as my archetype to sit in on a round table, and it was just a conversation. She had questions for us, and we answered about our archetype and about our life and personality and all that kind of stuff. And she used those videos in her course. So if you ever take her Sacred Money Archetypes course, you'll see me on video talking about the archetypes, and it's it's super cool. So cool. One of the most fun things that I did. I was so excited I got to do that. I also got to crew for Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within last year. Um, that was an amazing, amazing experience. I hope to be able to do it again. I don't know if I'll be able to do it again this year, but it was. I'm so glad I got to do that. It was such a learning experience. It was really, really amazing. What else? So Joelle has shared. Yay! Thank you, Joelle. Oh, thank you, Cassandra. So Joelle got her first grandchild. That's a huge celebration. They moved to Florida, bought a new home, moved her business to Florida. That's a huge celebration and a huge job. I know what a big job that is, and one that is like continues, right, years and years. Has 2 new team members even, so brand new in business in Florida with new team as well. So huge celebrations. So if you think of anything off the top of your head, remember sharing your celebrations, sharing what's good, sharing things that are happening in your life inspires other people and gives people hope. It's not bragging. It's not being, you know, thinking you're better than somebody else, or and it's not knocking anyone else's experience. It's giving people inspiration and hope. Somebody else who might be thinking about moving to Florida, hey, Joelle did it. Heather did it. Maybe I can do it too. And so that's what it's all about. Plus, again, your brain, it does things to your brain. So it's super important. All right. So brainstorming your celebrations to close out and find closure in 2022. Let's see. Make sure I didn't forget anything. Um, I love this quote. Recognizing everything you've achieved in the face of adversity is so good for you. Again, even when times are tough, remembering that you got through and what you did in spite of all of those things is powerful. It's very, very powerful, and it's so good for you. It's good for your confidence. It's good for your resilience. It's good for the next time you have a challenge. You can be like, you know what? I got through that thing. I can do this. So good. So, so good. All right. And don't forget the little things, the tiny little things. Um, Dave and I have had pretty regular date nights. Like we go out to dinner quite often. That's a celebration. It's not like a big deal, but it's a celebration because what you focus on will grow. That's just a fact. That's a human fact. Whatever it is you are focused on will grow. And so if you focus on whatever crap happened, whatever went wrong, you'll get more. And that's all that you will see. But if you can focus on those little celebrations and the big celebrations, and they just start adding up, and you'll just get more of them. They'll just be more and more and more. All right. So we have celebrated 2022. It's time to say goodbye and move on to 2023. Now there are some other tools and activities in this little workbook, so I encourage you to take a look at them. We're not going to do these ones, but we are going to do something else. That is my most favorite thing. Okay, so again, goal setting can be a bit overwhelming and daunting, and to be frank, it's a little boring. It feels so official to say I'm going to set a goal, and then what are you going to do with it? Like when we start setting these big crazy goals and we start making steps, like we avoid it so that we don't fail. If you are anything like my personality, like you don't want to fail at anything, and so if you don't even try or do anything about it and you just hide it in a drawer somewhere, then you won't fail and things will come up and you'll just be like, oh well, things came up and whatever, we'll try again next year. So we're not going to set goals tonight. We are going to get excited about 2023 and we're going to find out what it is that gets you excited. So another piece of paper, find your paper. You can have 3 pieces of paper or you can just get 1 piece of paper and make 3 columns. So you need 3 columns. I'm going to do mine this way. And then you're going to write at the top, be, do, and have. So this is the be, do, and have exercise. I love this exercise. I've done it so many times and with several groups. Again, Denise Duffield Thomas, that's where I got it from. One of her courses, we do this exercise, and I've seen it in other places too. Slightly different variations, but I love it. And this is so simple. That's another reason I love it, is because it's so simple. There's no rules. You can't get it wrong. And this is not a contract. This is not, like, this is for dreaming, okay? This is not for what I actually am going to be, what I'm going to do, and what I'm going to have. No, this is for dreaming, okay? We're going to narrow it down later, but this is for dreaming. So I want you to not be afraid to write down the crazy that pops in your head. Anything. Any crazy that pops in your head. So what we're going to do is start in the first column or first page. I did 3 separate pages because I knew I was going to write a lot. The first column is B. So what are you going to do is ask yourself, in 2023, what do I want to be? Or you could say, I want to be, fill in the blank. What do you want to be? And I would love for you to share in the chat too if you think of some things, or write them down. But just brainstorm everything you can think of. I want to be, in 2023, a speaker. I love speaking on stage. I've done it in the past at Cincy events. I don't know when I'll get to do that again, or when I'll have the energy or the brain power to do that again, but I want to be a speaker again, right? Get on stage again. I want to be healthy. I want to be cancer-free in 2023. I want to be the hot chick in a bikini. So I'm going to have hair, fake boobs, and a tan on the beach. I'm going to be the hot chick in the bikini on the beach in 2023. So whatever it is, right? A Disney annual pass holder. I put that on my list because our passes expired. I want to get them back. So I want to be a pass holder again. What do you want to be? Hi, Joyce. Oh, you're in Indiana? Very nice. Oh, Carrie, a better friend. I love that. That's so sweet. So, what do you want to be? Feel free to share. I love that. Please share. And brainstorm your list. As many things as you can think of. What do I want to be? What else do you want to be, right? What else? Hashtag what else, Cassandra? What else do you want to be in 2023? And brainstorm a list. All the things you can think of. I want to be a, or I will be a. Um, it would be really cool if I could be a. At one time, Dave wanted to be a skydiver. Maybe you want to be a swimmer. Maybe you want to be, I don't know, what do you want to be? Dream. Like, it would be crazy cool. Don't think about money. Don't think about time. Don't think about education. Don't think about any of the restrictions that would cause you to think, well, no, I can't be that, right? I can't be that, so I'm not going to write it down. Write it down anyway. Anything. No restrictions. No, money is no object. Time, capabilities, there's nothing is restraining you. You can be anything you want on this piece of paper. So write it down. Joelle says, healthy was my first one. Love it. Also thin. Oh, you gotta get my Florida bikini pod on. Absolutely. Yay. So what do you want to be? All right. So again, you can fill in that list a little bit later. I don't want to take up too much of your time tonight, but I want to get through these because we're going to get to the magic. At the end, it's magical. So hang with me. All right, so the second column obviously is what do you want to do? What do you want to do in 2023? You can do anything you want. Again, money is no object. Time, capabilities, childcare, no object. Write down everything you would want to do in 2023 if you could. If you had a magic genie, what would it be that you want to do? So some of the things that I went to, some of them were repetitive. So again, I want to speak on stage. So I wanted to be a speaker. I know I speak on stage. I want to go to SFR. I want to go to World Tour. I want to hug my Scentsy peeps. So those are on my list. I want to pay off some debt. I want to go to some more Solar Bear games because those were super fun. We love going to the hockey games. I want to finish treatment. Be done. That's what I want to do. I want to or an incentive trip. I want to go on a cruise. I want to spend time at Disney. I want to go on date nights. I want to do all of these things. Spend more time at the beach. What do you want to do? Carrie's coming back to Melbourne. Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to put it on my list. I want to meet up with Carrie in Melbourne. What do you want to do in 2023? All the things, right? Brainstorm your list. Think about everything on your list. Everything you can think of. And then ask yourself the magic question, what else? What else do I want to do? What else do I want to do? And this takes time. Sometimes you have to step away from this list and come back to it. So this kind of brainstorming, you will run out of stuff quickly, but you're not done. I promise. There's more in there. If you just give yourself a minute, right? Give yourself a minute or step away. Sometimes you have to step away and come back to it. Look at, again, your Facebook feed. It might trigger some ideas. Look back at old photos, might trigger some ideas. But I promise when you first get stuck the first time, you're not finished. Okay? So give yourself some time to kind of really fill up that list. All right, and then the third column. Again, you can come back to this list and fill them up when we're done here. But let's take a look at the third column is what do you want to have? Now this one is kind of fun. It's sort of like a Christmas list, only it's not for Christmas. Joelle, yes, she wants to do travel, SFR, incentive trips, pay off debt, all the good things. Love it. Thank you. All right, so what do you want to have? Again, money is no object. You can be as selfish here as you want. You can be as greedy as you want on this list, okay? This is not, you're absolutely going to get it, have it. Sorry, my nose is itchy. This is dreaming. This is brainstorming. This is finding out what makes your heart flutter, okay? So put it all down. Don't be shy. Nobody has to look at this. You can burn it when we're done with it. It's fine. Nobody has to look. You're the only one. But write it down. I promise if you keep it in your head, it does not have the same power as if you put it out into the universe on the paper, okay? Passive income, yes. Wouldn't that be nice? Just go to bed and wake up with more money. Um, so what do you want to have? Make a list. All the things. I put a convertible. I put savings. I want to have money in my savings. I want to have a Disney annual pass. Again, I'm doubling up. It's more power if it's on multiple lists, I guess. I want to go on a beach retreat. I want to go on a cruise. I want to have new furniture in my house. I want to have a chandelier in my office. I want to have a landscaped yard. I don't want to do it myself. I want to pay somebody and have it do it, but I want to have a landscape yard. What do you want to have? A new wardrobe. Most of it being Tommy Bahama. I love Tommy Bahama stuff. What do you want to have? It could be little. It could be new pot holders. It could be the things that you didn't get for Christmas. A new wallet. I bought it myself, but I got a new wallet. What do you need? A new purse? Do you need new glasses? Do you want? What do you want to have? You can have anything you want. What do you want to have? Right? All right. So you brainstorm all three columns until you are just have exhausted all the opportunities. Now, here's the magic. Okay, so you're not done. You've made these lists and that's great, but what's next? The magic, I want you to take the list, and you can do this alone in the bathroom if you want. Nobody has to hear you. Or if you want more magic, more power, more push, stretch yourself, and read your list out loud to someone. Again, you can read it alone in a room, or you can read it to someone. If you want more magic, more powerful magic, speak it to somebody. But if you're not quite ready for that, it's okay. But the magic is read your list out loud with your out loud voice, not in your head, out loud with your out loud voice. Okay? I promise it does something different in your brain. Okay? So the magic is to read your lists out loud. And again, if you want more magic and you want to really go powerful, speak it to someone. Read it out loud. I know, right? A chandelier. I can't wait. I've got one picked out. It's beautiful. So here's what happens. When you read your list out loud, there will inevitably be a few things on your list that trigger something. It might be a feeling in your gut. It might be a flutter in your heart. It might be a tear. It might make you catch your breath. You might stutter a bit over it. It might be difficult to get it out. There might be things that are harder to say out loud than other things. Yes, Joella, hurricane-proof house. I love that. So that's what I want you to pay attention to. What things on your list make you feel something? What things on your list are harder to say out loud than the other things? What things on your list make you feel? Those are the things that you've got to pay attention to. Those are the ones you need to circle, highlight, put them somewhere special. Those are the things you need to take action on in 2023. Those are the things, if you must set goals, that you set goals around. Those are the things that you start making progress towards. If they're big and crazy, maybe you won't hit them in 2023, but you start making progress towards them. And I promise that at the end of 2023, you will be celebrating. Right? So that is the be do have with a little bit of magic. Brainstorm your list. Dream. Dream. We don't dream enough. Dream crazy. And then find out which ones are really meaningful to you. Focus in on those. Take action on those. Do whatever it is you can to move towards those. Even if they're little, take those steps, those baby steps, right? Make decisions this year that gets you closer to those things. And so at the end of 2023, our celebration list will be absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Would anybody like to share anything that you found was like one of your most special items on your lists? I would love to hear. The comments are a little bit delayed sometimes. But that's it. So as we close out 2022, celebrate what has been. Forgive yourself for anything that you didn't do or get done, or for the way you thought it might have gone. Just forgive it. It's fine. It'll be okay. And then get excited about something for 2023. What are you going to look forward to? What are you going to celebrate at the end of 2023? And let that be your focus. Let that guide your decisions. Um, yeah. Oh, thanks, AJ. I need it too. So filling you guys fills me up. This is how I fill myself. I have to tell you though, it's super hard to get on here tonight. I was so tired. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. But you guys, I feel you. So thank you. But that's all I have. If there are any questions, put them in the comments. If you have any thoughts, put them in the comments. Um, I would love to hear if you are finishing your list later, comment in our team, in our group page, and let us know kind of what your ahas were along the way. Take some time. I know this was quick, so take some time with these lists and really fill them up, right? Give yourself some space to kind of think of and dream of all the things. And sometimes it may even be a day later where you go, oh, that needs to go on my list. And so they're living lists, right? You can always add and take things off your list. Mine change all the time. Sometimes I put stuff on my list and then I take them off the list. And so they can change all the time. That's why you have to put everything, because it's okay. You can change it. It's your list. Nobody else has to see it. All right, I'm going to go sit on the couch and put my feet up. I hope you guys all have had amazing holidays, Christmas and then upcoming New Year's. I hope to do this more often. That's on my list. I want to do more of. And so I will do my best to make this happen more frequently. Love it. Love you guys. And I am always here for you. So whatever you need. Have a great night. Bye for now.